Just in general, I'm not very good at charging people.
Yeah. Yeah, of course, of course. All right. Good morning, everybody. Official weigh-ins about to get going. Top of the hour. First official live stream, I guess, for the Underground at the new spot. We ran one last week, but I'll be honest with you, I was a little bit nervous that thing wasn't going to work. So I didn't really advertise it or talk about it. I didn't really push this one heavy. We're just kind of settling in. I'm always a little nervous. I'm going to screw up the tech. Benzie, appreciate that. Cold Coffee's giving me grief for starting early, but mainly it's just because I wanted to make sure it worked. Oh, Kanye West joined us this morning. Thanks, Kanye. I always had a feeling Kanye was a big Underground fan, big MMA fan. Issa in the house. Ooh. Don't be nervous. I'm just excited, Kanye. I'm excited you're here. Appreciate you dropping us, sharing your genius with us. For those of you that are joining early, stay tuned because it sounds like from the intel we're receiving that the headliners will be right off the top, so you'll get to see that right away. And then at that point, will you want to hang around and watch the rest? You should. Look, this is a good card, man. I think if you're an MMA hardcore man, this card should be a lot of fun. Is it, are we going to establish a lot of number one contenders? No, but, I mean, look, meaningful matchups all in the top three, right? You got ranked opponents all in the top three fights, and those are all great fights. Marlon Moraes, Song Yadong, Sodiq Yusuff, and Alex Caceres. So all those are meaningful fights. But then I just think you got some fights that are going to be heavy on action. So I'm recommending watching the main card here and then switching over and catching the main card over at Bellator as well. Kanye about to take on Pete Davidson. All right, so we got just a few minutes. Brendan Fitzgerald just rolled in with his breakfast. And I see, here's the problem with me leaving MMA Junkie. Cole Coffey's up there with that incredibly expensive equipment up there, and he's a much better videographer than me. So we get kind of just a lockdown camera here. But, they don't have any live chat over there. Tough call. Maybe pull up both windows? I don't know. Yeah, Kanye, I'm picking Ankalaev in this fight as well. No disrespect to Thiago. Thiago's a fantastic fighter, but I really do believe Magomed Ankalaev is a future title contender. You know, may need one more win after this. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But I would take Ankalaev in this fight as well. That would be a great fight. Ankalaev versus Yuri Prochazka. I mean, pretty good chance we get it this year, right? I mean, no disrespect to all parties involved, but I don't see that as being a slim possibility of it happening. I think they're on kind of a little bit of a collision course. But honestly, man, so kind of talking about the rest of this card. I mean, look, even on the prelims, I think there's some good matchups. I think this is going to be a fun card. I'm looking forward to it. This will be one of those action-packed ones. Because you just look at the matchups and the styles on paper, I think we got some really good fights. So I'm actually kind of looking forward to this one. And then a couple of weeks off, man. I'm not making the trip to London, not making the trip to Columbus, Ohio. So a little bit of a break from the live event coverage. And then we'll crank it back up after that. Just booked all my travel to Jacksonville, so we'll be back down there for that pay-per-view. And just getting things going over here at the Underground. Yeah, Dober versus McKinney. I mean, Alex Marreta versus Bruno Silva. Come on, man. How's that not going to be exciting? Khalil Roundtree versus Carl Roberson. Come on now. I'm telling you, up and down, I think this card is going to be fire emoji. Fire emoji. By the way, Benzie, if I didn't shout you out, I really appreciate that message, man. A lot of hard work over here at the new gig, but fun starting something new.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, man? Yo. That's good. Back. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Excellent. Oh, it is 11 up here.
Joe from H-Town, what's going on? Dude, I didn't see I saw some of the pictures from that CM Punk match. Man, I needed to check that out. Was it a good match? I saw that. Looked like he was all blooded up. I'm supposed to work with him next week. Is he really cut up? I don't know how they do all that. Anaru, appreciate you. Denial. No, I'm not with the UFC. I am not independent. I work for the Underground now. Kind of independent. Because we're a staff of one. But yeah, I left MMA Junkie to come be the editor-in-chief here at the Underground and try to build up the coverage over here. So hopefully we'll get some revenues going. We'll build a little bit of staff around me. I don't think that we'll, be the massive 10-person crew that MMA Junkie became over the years, but we're independent as well. So still same coverage for me, more or less. Just doing it in the new home over here. It's all good, man. All good to now. I didn't make a big deal out of it. This opportunity came up and things weren't really fantastic behind the scenes over at the old place. So after 15 years at the old spot, we're doing something new. That's one long analysis. The number of messages of support I got from people that were like, it's amazing what you've been able to accomplish with one lung was pretty funny. I do have 2 lungs. Joe, I'll have to find that. I'll have to check it out. Storm Lake. That is going to be a good. I'm telling you, man, this card's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I wanted a LeBron-like announcement. And Arud, it is just us talking right now. It's just me and us. All right. Jeff Mullen is walking over the scale. Seems like we're going to get this thing started. We'll chat here in a little bit when it has some time. But from what we're hearing, it sounds like the main event is going to be right off the top. So pay attention. You'll see your headliners, but then stick around and we'll talk. We'll chat. Denial, I'm taking my talents to South Beach. And Rude, I'll answer your questions right here. But yeah, we might do some more like live streams and stuff in the weeks. I'm not kind of figuring all that out right now. But I'll answer you right here too. But just in between weights. I do have to shoot photos and do some recording, so here we go. What's up, Dave? See Alex Davis over there on the side, my good friend Alex Davis. He's excited. He got his first world champion this morning with John Lineker. Haven't had a chance to check that out.
Everybody, we will start the weigh-ins with one half of our main event. Thiago Santos, first to the scale. Official weight, 205 and a half for Thiago Santos. Next to the scale, the other half of the main event, Magomed Ankalaev. Official weight, 205 pounds for Magomed Ankalaev. Next to the scale, Jillian Robertson. Official weight 125 and a half for Jillian Robertson. Next to the scale, Miranda Maverick. Official weight 125 and a half for Miranda Maverick. Next to the scale, Alex Caceres. Official weight, 145 pounds for Alex Caceres.
Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Azamat Mirzakhanov. Official weight 205 and a half for Azamat Mirzakhanov.
Thank you.
Next to the scale, Chris Mutino.
Messed us up a little bit there.
135.
Official weight 135 pounds for Chris Mutino.
5, 4, 1. Thank you.
Next to the scale, Marlon Morais.
Right there, babe. 5.
Official weight 136 pounds for Marlon Morais.
Go ahead, babe.
Next to the scale, Kamuela Kirk.
Ready, babe?
Official weight 145 pounds for Kamuela Kirk.
Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Carl Robertson.
Right here, babe.
Official weight 155 pounds for Drew Dover.
Thank you, love.
Next to the scale, Tafon Chukwi.
Right there, babe. 5.
Official weight 205 and a half for Tafon Chukwi.
Fine. Thank you.
Next to the scale, Sadiq Youssef. Official weight 145 and a half for Sadiq Youssef.
Fine. Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Trevin Jones. Official weight 135 pounds for Trevin Jones.
One. Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Matthew Semmelsberger. Official weight 169 pounds for Matthew Semmelsberger.
Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Song Yadong. Official weight 135 and a half for Song Yadong.
One. Thank you.
Next to the scale, J.J. Aldrich. Official weight 125 and a half for J.J. Aldrich.
Thank you, babe.
Next to the scale, Guido Canetti. Official weight 136 pounds for Guido Canetti.
Thank you.
Next to the scale, Dalsha Lungiambula. Official weight 186 pounds for Dalsha Lungiambula. Next to the scale, Bruno Silva. Official weight 185 and a half for Bruno Silva. Next to the scale, A.J. Fletcher. Official weight 170 pounds for A.J. Fletcher.
One. Thank you, sir.
Next to the scale, Javid Bashara. Official weight 136 pounds for Javid Bashara.
Thank you, sir.
Next to the scale, Terrence McKinney. Official weight 156 pounds for Terrence McKinney.
One.
Next to the scale, Khalil Roundtree Jr. Official weight 205 pounds for Khalil Roundtree.
Thank you,
Next to the scale, Damon Jackson. Official weight 145 and a half for Damon Jackson.
Thank you, sir. I know those three came up.
But then I was like, fuck it, let's just be done.
All right, so crazy. Believe it or not, 15 minutes in here, we only have 3 people left. That was wild. We've got Cody Brundage, Sabina Mazo, and Alex Bejeda. Yeah. So only 3 athletes left to weigh in at this point, which is pretty wild. Yeah, check out the full results at the Underground. Yes, Bob, this is my new gig. Sorry we couldn't talk much there. I'm going to do a little bit of photo editing, a little bit of video editing real quick, so I'll duck out. But only 3 fighters left to weigh in at this point. Crazy. That was a good run. Now we'll have a lot of time to sit around, I bet. Yeah, Jamie, it kind of makes you think like it's going to be. I mean, I was already saying what a good fight card I think this is going to be, but it kind of gives you like even more confidence, right? Like, dude, if everybody's on point that early, like, man. Yeah, denial. That's it. It's a one-man band now. We'll get a couple more people to the band eventually, but right now we just on that grind. Thank you, Scott McCrate. Always good to see you here, my man. Appreciate you. Scroll up a little bit. Jamie, I'm doing good. Appreciate you asking, man. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but it's been good. Eagle FC tonight. Yup. Definitely checking that out. PFL. We split screen it. One championship was this morning. I mean, what a hell of a weekend, huh? I know people are, oh, it's too much MMA, blah, 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 blah. Not me, man. Keep it going all day. Daniel, that's what's up. Appreciate you. We're gonna build over here slowly but surely. You know, it's like a startup company. It was started in 1998, and they waited 24 years to really get it going. But now we're gonna take things to the next level. Yeah, denial. I didn't get a chance to check out one because I was my wife's out of town, so I was taking care of the kid this morning, getting him off to care and all that. So I have to watch one on replay. But I did see Lineker, Tan looked good. Look forward to checking that out. Ooh, Andrew, that was nasty. Roundtree's last fight was nasty.
Next to the scale, Sabina Mazo. Official weight 125 and a half for Sabina Mazo.
Take it back.
That takes us down to 2. Definitely will check the replay out. Scott McCrate, I like Ray Borg in that fight, but I think Ben Dejas is a live underdog. I'm looking forward to that one. Anirudh, yeah. To be honest, I just wasn't happy at Junkie anymore, and there was a little bit of frustration in the way I was being treated behind the scenes, if I'm being completely honest. And this opportunity came up, opportunity to be an editor-in-chief and call the shots and kind of do things the way I want to do them. And it gave me a lot more freedom as well to go do things like commentary for CFFC, which I'm doing next week, which had become an issue over at MMA Junkie. So got a little bit of more freedom, opportunity to do some things that I want to do. And so rolling the dice, taking a chance, doing something new, walking away from something we built over the course of 15 years, man. Crazy. Looks like everybody's kind of rolling with Borg as well. Yeah, sorry, Naruto, I ducked away for a little bit, but I don't mind sharing. You know me, I'm here. Rigaros, hello from Ivanov. Hamzat, some other Swedish fighters here from All Stars. I dig it. So Jamie, it'll be me and CM Punk this week. Although I did hear Punk might end up with a scheduling conflict, but as of now, it's going to be CM Punk. Punk and Felder, I think we're going to be announcing another grappling date soon, from what I hear. So we're working on announcing the next grappling date, and hopefully Felder will be there. We had a good time, man. Had a really good time, the three of us. I enjoyed that. If you didn't get a chance to watch the Fury grappling show that we did in December, pull it up on Fight Pass. We had a good time. Good morning, California love. Yo, Mac, no misses yet, and believe it or not, we're only waiting on 2 people at this point. I believe it's Cody Brundage and Alex Maheda at this point. So we had like 23 fighters in 15 minutes or something like that. So it's been a good morning. And thank you, Anirudh. I appreciate that. Let me get this video done. Is that the manager to world champion John Lineker?
At last, I got a world champion.
Congratulations.
Move your head of just send me some questions and I'll get them answered.
Alex Davis is here, everybody. His longtime client won the world title.
That was a long, suffered, bumpy road. You guys have no idea how long, how hard, how many problems we had.
But they got there. I gotta watch the replay. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna watch it when I get
Oh,
Great
BB
performance.
sold it expensive.
Yeah?
He knocked John down.
Really?
Yeah, he took him down 2 times. It was a long.
Can't wait to see it. Andrew says, "Do you have martial arts experience, or you just been a fan?" So I trained when I was young, like teenager, late teens, early 20s. Wanted to go back and train with my son, but I just had so much fun watching my son. The idea originally was we would both kind of train at the same time. You know, I'd go on one side of the gym and he'd go on the other, but I just love watching him train and, like, you know, giving him confidence and feedback, and so much that I haven't trained. I certainly need to, but yeah, I used to train with Lions Den Dallas like 20 years ago, man, in the early days of the sport. Denial. Yeah, the Wi-Fi, man. The Wi-Fi here, I'll never get why the Wi-Fi doesn't work here. So frustrating. What's up, brother?
How are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
You live stream?
Live streaming a little bit. Just, you know, starting up the new place. Video editing, live streaming,
You're one man.
photo shooting, updating the website. That's how we do. Final Cut, yeah. Yes. My man Kenny, who's much more a videographer, says Premiere is the better video editing software, but I learned on Final Cut, and that's all I know. So.
I mean, it's a lot of I/O, drag to timeline in different various forms, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's why it's live.
I'm an iMovie guy.
Are you?
Budget.
You're like old school.
It's what came with the computer.
I dig it.
You're a very searched term on YouTube these days, John Morgan.
Am I really?
You know, remember when we did that interview, that episode from Abu Dhabi?
Like now it's starting to...
So I have a clip, and it was just like why John Morgan asked the first question.
Right.
It's gotten like 7,000 views in the last week. It was at, you know, it was like a couple hundred, you know, whatever.
Oh, well, yeah, Kobe.
That's what I mean. But even still, it's like another 2,000 yesterday or something. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, John Morgan.
Love
Just,
that.
he's a big celeb.
15-year overnight superstar.
How's the? That's right. How's the new digs?
It's good, man. It's good. Yeah, settling in. You know, obviously it's a lot of work, but it's fun. You know what I mean? It's like starting up junkie again.
Find
you
the
know?
grind that you like, you know?
That's it.
Good times. Hey, bro.
Catching up with Brendan Fitzgerald there as he finishes off his breakfast.
Spitballing. Really? Come on. I'll go ask him.
All right, got that video produced. So checking back in here. MP, I got Ankalaev in the main event, man. No disrespect, Thiago. Like I said, I like Thiago a lot, man, and he's a dangerous fighter. But I really think Ankalaev is like a future title contender, if not a future champion. The dude seems like the real deal to me. So I got Ankalaev in this one. MP says thinks he can win a decision. That'd probably be the way to go. We need that Izzy fight bad. Yeah, it's a good point, Andrew, with middle and welterweight. Like, it feels like we're seeing the same fights over and over. And it's crazy because those guys deserve it, right? I mean, the contenders that are there, they deserve it. So it's hard to deny them the opportunity to fight for titles again, but it does feel like the divisions are just kind of staying put, right? Because we're seeing the same fights over and over and over and over. I think that's probably one reason why so many people are jumping on the Hamzat train, you know, hoping that he's a title contender just because you want those fresh names in there. And yeah, it's there's history with that matchup, right? With Alex Pereira. It's funny because, as a lot of people have pointed out, like I think a lot of people have seen the highlight, haven't actually seen the fight of Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya, where Izzy was winning the fight. But it doesn't matter; he knocked him out, right? So there's some story there. That's fun. Like, there's some history. Sorry, I was trying to upload this video here. So I think, you know, people want to see that. And I think, you know, you get to make different rules with Alex Pereira. You know, normally you'd be like, come on, man. Like, was he 4-1 in his career, or what have you? I mean, you're like, you can't get a title shot that quick, but you can. When you have that history, you can.
Let's say this. Why does everybody only know basic space about because we really just have much beyond.
Denial. It's funny. And Marreta, a little bit different boat, but we're going different paths, but I guess a little bit the same. Gianni's teeth in the house. Love it. Ankalaev versus Jamal Hill, 2023. Muniz can beat Hall dominantly on scene. Great shouts on that, Jamie. Ankalaev versus Jamal Hill will be a great fight. Muniz looks like a beast, so getting a little bit of fresh flavor in there. Fonter Vera, dude, that's a great fight right there. Top of my head. I think maybe Font as well. Man, doubt Cheeto at your own risk, man. That dude's a beast. Love that kid. That's a hell of a fight, man. I love that fight. Yeah, good call to now. I agree with that. Definitely does need a little more precise these days, you know. 65, Andrew. You know what? To be honest with you, I'm kind of torn on the whole 65-75 thing. On the one hand, I think it makes all the sense in the world, right? I mean, just 10-pound differences. But it's, I think it's part of me is just holding on to, like, the history of the 170 division. I mean, you're talking about, like, some of the greatest to ever do it in the sport. You know, George St. Pierre, Matt Hughes, obviously, I mean, legendary figures. And then you kind of get rid of that division. But I don't know. I just hate to, like, go away from that. But I guess history isn't really a great reason to just hang on to something. You know, to me, I think it makes more sense. And the UFC is always looking for titles, so that's one thing I've never kind of understood Dana's hesitancy to add it, because, you know, they need champs. They need people to headline these pay-per-views. Like, what's wrong with adding one more division? So I kind of, I mean, to me, practically it makes sense. There's like this part of me that doesn't want to change it just because it's the way it's always been. But practically speaking, honestly, it makes more sense. Marias to UFC. I'm assuming we're talking about Marlon Marias, of course. I feel bad because he's on this losing streak, but to look at the names on that losing streak, like, good Lord, you know, monsters. So, you know, and even here, facing another monster, you know, a young one, an up-and-coming one, but you can't deny what he brings, you know? So, we'll see. It's a big one for Marlon. I'm not gonna lie, Andrew, that one made me laugh. I'm moving on to editing photos now at this point, by the way, while we chat. Nick, we've only got 2 people left at this point, Cody Brundage and Alex Bejeda, but they still have an hour and 19 minutes to go. We got the first part of it done real quick. And Pete says Marlon's going to win the first minute of the fight, and then Yadon knocks him out. I'd hate to see that for Marlon. Such a nice dude, been around the game, fun fighter. Just on a rough stretch right now. You know, he did go train in Thailand. Did get hospitalized. If you read that story, that was kind of wild. That's when I wrote that. Still with MMA Junkie, where he was hospitalized, testing positive for COVID when he first got there. Got stuck in a hospital. Definitely don't put a lava lamp in your microwave. Yeah, Storm, I agree. You know, I definitely don't. You know, and everybody always makes the boxing argument, right? Where it's like every 4 pounds. And I agree with that. Like, I don't think we need to have one like every 5 pounds. That would be way too much. But 10? Every 10? To me, that doesn't seem bad. All right, sorry about that buffering there. Had to switch to my phone. Ridiculous. Yeah, so if you're just joining us, just 2 people left to go. Yeah, Andrew, look at that. Look at the names you're talking there. I mean, that'd be a hell of a 165 division to kick it off. JH, no, I am no longer working with MMA Junkie in any capacity whatsoever. I have 100% moved over here to the underground, and no apologies necessary. This is my new home. Denial, the hydration clause. Now that my schedule's changed a little bit, I want to go see one of the One Championship events and see it firsthand. Alex Davis, who's a good friend of mine, he swears by it. He's like, I think it's the greatest thing for fighters. The hydration thing, it's great. It's the wave of the future, and he's been asking me to get to a One Championship event forever. But obviously the schedule and the UFC grind's been tough, so I need to get over there. I want to see it firsthand because there's naysayers, of course. They're like, it's not really, people like to shoot holes in it. But like I said, Alex is a good friend of mine, and he's like, it's the way. It is absolutely the way to do it. So I want to check it. Yeah, Denial. You tell him. Go and follow those dorks. MP, fights with modified rules. I'm kind of torn because, like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, okay, like the triad combat stuff. Like, does that count as boxing or not? And so it's kind of weird. I get it, like in special circumstances, cross rules, cross promotions, things like that. There's maybe a need to do it, but it's kind of weird too, because then like, what are we really doing? But so I guess it kind of depends on the circumstances, but what we got here?
That's why it'll be over 2 days, hopefully. But it's a pay-per-view and they cut weight. So if anything, I'll try to do the main card on Wednesday and try to do the undercard on Thursday, if I have to. Sometimes it is the fact. I think the fact that we make, like we did in the last play.
Go to 1X, man. I wish I could. I can't pull it off that quick. But yeah, I'll definitely tune in to cover that, man. I'm looking forward to that card. JH, no, it's not owned by Sports Illustrated. We just have a content partnership deal with them. So you'll see some of my work will be for Sports Illustrated while I'll produce it directly for them, which is cool. Very cool. Trailer took a big hit. The new Eagle signs. The Eagles trying to make some moves.
Do they have a new skyline?
I'll definitely be tuning into that fight card tonight.
Because you can do a time lapse.
Dana White versus Scott Coker. Why did it not go through? MP, I think we all were.
It's not like Jacksonville has a lot of stuff that they
I'll have to put in for that assignment now. It's a very, very important MMA. I think that was a meme, Andrew. Yeah, I think that was a meme.
play a bocce ball.
Got to get a little thumbnail done for the YouTube video for the main event. Oh, I'm open-minded. I'm not arguing.
Yeah, it's not crazy. We're not shooting green screens. Because we have to open, so I don't know carry over there. We haven't been over there in so long. You want to take that? Well, yeah, it's usually hand carry when we have to carry, but I can't take them. They don't want me carrying them out. He said if you ship it to him, I guess he's not here this weekend since he's too good. He said if you ship it to me, he'll take it. Or he said gloves. I'm like, do we have enough gloves? Because the same gloves we use in Abu Dhabi are the ones from Europe. But we're missing a bunch. We have a bunch of pairs missing. But I don't know how many. I can't. I'm not checking it. They must. Like, I don't know if Matt, Talent has access to the stuff now, where he can like open it and see. Yes. Oh, good. Because I was asking Don how much anything else left. I thought these were left already. But that transformed to, which means the show in between. We don't have a show in between. Okay. Is that in there? Maybe I can just do it until I can get my things set.
Almost done here. Almost done.
For where? From lunch? They don't have that set up for it to come to us during the fight. I'm staying an extra day, so does that mean everybody's gonna be gone? I'm gonna try to go stand by on Sunday. I don't want to. Yeah, they asked for a next card to go. Patrick to come back.
I would think that we would be more relaxed about it because you can actually sit on this thing. Yeah. He said if you're vaccinated, then it shouldn't matter.
Do you have to wear masks? I'm glad I'm leaving Monday. I leave Monday and I get in Tuesday afternoon. You probably leave in some week anyway. United American Airlines. Well, it's British Airways, but it leaves at 9:50. It's an American British Airways.
All right, thumbnail done. Let's see what we got going on here.
I bought American.
Scroll up a little bit.
It's a BA flight. BA flight number.
Let's see what we got here. Forgot to ask what's your opinion on Chaos Williams versus Randy Brown. Fireworks, dude. I'm looking forward to that one. Ron Swanson, Mighty Mouse is at the end of the month. Guilty pleasures in terms of MMA coverage on YouTube. Honestly, no. And you know what? I used to be so damn busy with Junkie, man. Like I never even looked at anything on YouTube, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But now, start doing that a little bit. I actually thought like on the underground, maybe do like a section where we kind of have all the YouTube coverage and stuff just in one place. I mean, I guess it's kind of all together in YouTube, but you got to sift through other stuff. But maybe like a Friends of the Underground type section. You know, like I told Will Harris from Anatomy of a Fighter, like I want to feature all of his content on the underground because I'm just a fan of him and you know kind of the backstage access that he gets. And so maybe I need to kind of make a list of the YouTube stuff that I like and kind of you know curate it all there on the underground as well. Yeah, 26. That's the exact date. Yeah, MP nailed it. Too busy making content to watch, but I want to try to soak it in and feature what I can. I'm never gonna be able to match the output of like Junkie now that I'm by myself. But if I can feature other people and kind of curate for fans, I think that's fun. What's up, Based Una? I have not watched any One Championship. I'm going to watch that on replay when I get home after the weigh-ins. Looking forward to it. Owen Carroll, just 2 people left. And thank you, I am doing well. Thank you. Only 2 people left. Alex Bejeda and Cody Brundage. We had a big run right off the top. Triller, the future of combat entertainment. They just got to figure out their money situation, man. I just can't imagine that they're profitable. So how long can they last? That's the only thing that worries. And I'm not trying to talk bad about them. I think the more options we have for fighters to compete, the better. But it's just how can they make money, you know? You can't just be losing money all the time. Yeah, my understanding with Lombard and all these guys is like, so it's really smart. Like the contracts they're signing is they're making sure that it's, you know, they're like per sport basically. So my understanding is that Lombard can still bare knuckle box, and same thing with like Triad and you know they're basically looking at it as different sports. So that's one big thing. These mixed rules and new sports, it allows guys to have multiple contracts for multiple promotions. You know, kind of makes it tough for scheduling, but it keeps your options open to make some cash. So pretty cool. Thanks to now. I think obviously I gotta get my feet in the door and figure this out. Like I do think ultimately I'd like to start like kind of an internship program because I need some volunteer work, to be honest with you. And to be honest, I want to help people if I can give back a little bit and try to help train and educate. I just don't ever want anybody to think I'm taking advantage of them. You know what I mean? Like I don't, you know, I worked for MMA Junkie for 6 months for free. That's how I got my start in the business, you know, and I always tell people I think it's okay to start in the business for free. It's okay to volunteer your work, but if you're volunteering your time, don't let them tell you what to do in terms of like how much time you have available, and it's not a long-term play. Like you can't work for somebody for free for 5 years or something. Like that's just, you know, that's you being taken advantage of. But got to figure all that out. But I think at some point I'd like to be able to, you know, maybe help some kids in college or some people trying to get their start in the business if I can help coach them a little bit on their work. It'd be cool. I'd like to get to that point at some point. Exactly, Una. That's the key part right there, followed by the money burning ceremony. That nailed it. MP, I appreciate you. That's funny. I'm getting old like Yoda, man. It's my birthday next week. Turned 44. You believe that? Holy Christ. When I started with MMA Junkie, I was like 28. How crazy is that? Yeah, man, March 15th. Crazy, huh? Shit. true now. Just have the one. He turns 10 in May, but yeah, man. Time flies once that happens. This is a hard week, man. My wife was out of town, so I was trying to balance the new gig and dad duty.
Next to the scale, Alex Pineda. Official weight 186 pounds for Alex Pineda.
All right, that takes us down to 1. Denial, I noticed that too. I guess that's the right way. I didn't know. MP, I do have my hair. That's good. Yeah, man. I was thinking last night, man. Shout out to anybody that's a single parent, dude. Like, I didn't even take my kid to school yesterday because I was so tired. I woke up and I knew he'd had a terrible week because I've had no time for him. And I was just like, bro, you want to skip school today and stay home, play video games? He was like, yup. I was so tired, and I felt bad because I know he had a crappy week. So, yeah, shout out to all the single parents. My mom was a single parent. Now I see like how, I mean, I did it for a week, and I'm exhausted. So, if anybody's out there bouncing that, kudos to you. Thank you, Jamie. Appreciate you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you. I won't be streaming next week because I'm not doing the London, but CFFC on Thursday night. Be sure and check that out on Fight Pass. Otherwise, yeah, stay tuned to our content over at the Underground. Thanks, Jamie. Appreciate you. Just one left. I will show the face-offs, too. I'll stream the face-offs as well, so you can check that out. Scheduled for the top of the hour, although we can go a little bit early if everybody's ready to go. We'll see how that plays out. Sure, they're going to bring out the Tupac hologram. I think single pet parents is a little bit easier. But I'll give you a shout out anyway, Ron. Shout out. No, sorry, Denial. I've used up my frequent flyer miles. I actually don't have as many as I used to, man. A couple of years ago, we were going to every show. And I'm glad I did, man. It was a great time in my career. But as my kid got older, it's kind of nice to be home more. MP. When we lived in Francis, Nagano. Should be begging. We can't. John Anik's not here. Can't steal his line. I think he's working on trademarking that one more sleep. That's funny. I've never had a chance to watch that now because obviously I'm always working, so I've never seen it. So no comment, but it's kind of funny if Mike and Dean hate. What do they hate? The fact that they're doing like little games or whatever? I've never watched the show, but I can tell they have like. I mean, it seems like they just try to make it casual and have fun or whatever. So, but I've never had a chance to see it. like local news. It's funny. Andrew, look, man, Patty's exciting, but you're absolutely right. You know, there's opportunities to beat him. So, you know, I think his personality and his game is fun, but he's risky. Yeah, MP. I think we know what you're getting at there. DC skateboarding is relevant to MMA. I did see that clip. I was wondering, like, what the hell, or what exactly they were trying to accomplish. Yeah, base that Alex Bahia Bruno Silva fight should be super fun. Denial, I appreciate it. And thank you, Based. Still a long way to go, right? Hopefully. So JH, no, nobody working for me at this point. I think we'll bring in some people at some point, hopefully, as long as we're, we gotta get some revenue coming in first. Once we do that, then we can look at building out some people. But right now, it's just me. And yeah, honestly, another 15 years, I'd love to, man. Honestly, I don't want to do another job. I want to do this. I want to be that old ass gray haired dude sitting at the sitting cage side when I'm like 80 years old. And people are like, man, you know, you got to watch Chuck Liddell fight. That's amazing. Like I want to be that guy. I love this job, man. I don't want to do anything else. So yeah, hopefully I do another 15 years here and more. Man, to be honest, I never saw myself leaving Junkie. I just figured I'd have that same job forever, but it became evident that wasn't going to be possible anymore. It's interesting to know, like, to have that confidence and that self-belief is important. But you're right, man. Then when you make it public, you make yourself a target. Like Macy with the whole, countdown clock on her phone and being the youngest champ ever. Like, that's awesome, man, to have that self-belief and have that confidence. But as soon as you turn that over to the world, like, people just start taking shots at it. You know what I mean? And I think it does put pressure on it, and you do have to hear about it all the time. So it's a double-edged sword, right? There's good and bad. And thanks, Andrew. We're here to help you out. MP, I got to figure that out. Set up your live to accept donations. I got to figure out how to do that. I actually watched Luke Thomas's live stream for the first time. I watched a replay of it last night. I'd never seen his before, and I heard him saying that, like, you can accept donations or whatever. So I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't even know that was a thing. Alex Hernandez is a good example as well. Now, great example. It's just hard because, like, dude, think about, like, and I always say this, like, when somebody says a fighter's cocky or they're arrogant, right? Like, think about the type of self-belief you need to have to, like, lock yourself in a steel cage with another human being who is hell-bent on doing physical damage to you. Like, dude, if you're going in there without unwavering confidence, without near, psychotic self-belief, you're setting yourself up for failure, man. You're setting yourself up to get hurt. You're setting yourself up for trouble. So it's so weird. And that's why I always feel bad when to a degree when people are like, oh, that guy's cocky or that guy's whatever. Like, I get it, and I think you do have to be careful. I mean, you do have to be careful in the way you express it to the world because, yes, you are opening yourself up for that. But just remember, like, you cannot have 1 ounce of self-doubt and step in there. Like, you have to think I'm the baddest dude in the effing world. And so I think you kind of have to give a little bit of understanding. So. Oscar Willis. You're talking about Oscar Willis. Yeah, Oscar Willis from the Mac Life. He's a good dude, man. He's actually not here this week. He actually went over to London early. I think he's going to see some friends and family while he's over there before the London event, so he skipped this one. But, yeah, Oscar's become a good friend over the years, man. He's been on that grind. We've covered a lot of events together, so he's become a good friend. And, yeah, if the bit you're talking about was the roller coaster thing, that was completely his idea. But I was like, I'm into it. Let's go. And it was kind of fun. Work with Luke and Jimmy Smith. Yeah. For sure, man. Luke, I haven't had a ton of interaction with it since he left. Like, since he's with Showtime and kind of doing his own thing or whatever, we've talked a couple. We never did. There was always, like, this kind of unwritten rivalry between Junkie and, fighting and SB Nation and all that. So we never did. Jimmy, I did his show the other day, actually. I'd love to work with Jimmy as well. But I'd love to work with Luke, too, man. I think Luke is sharp. Do you ever get any blowback from the journalists from jumping in to ask the first question? No, I mean, look, inside maybe there's some that hate my guts. But fortunately, everybody's usually pretty good with it. Yeah, denial, that's a great way to say it. Confidence is one thing, but don't be arrogant. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, absolutely, Ron. GSP fought scared. The one, I was talking to somebody about this the other day. The one guy that I really first heard talking about it was Cowboy Cerrone. I remember when he used to talk about the fact that he'd, throw up in the locker room ahead of the fights. And I remember, obviously Cowboy's always been that anybody, anywhere, anytime. And when he's like, dude, I get so nervous, I puke. And, in your head, you're going, why am I doing this? I never want to do this again. Like, why do I, what, this, no. This, and then afterwards, you're like, that's amazing, let's do it, It's crazy, the emotions and kind of the fear and stuff. It's crazy. Yeah, Stephen A, man. I didn't. Okay, I'm not going to sit here and just hate on the guy, right? Like, he's been incredibly successful in what he does or whatever. But I guess what I don't like about it is that, I don't know, when you have these hot takes or whatever, that you're pretending to be an expert. Like, you can't be an expert in every sport. You just can't. And it kind of bugs me when, I guess I heard, what did they say the other day, that Masvidal didn't train wrestling or whatever. Like, come on, man. Of course he trained wrestling. But you're not going to make up that level between him and Colby. Like, I guarantee you everybody here right now knew that Colby Covington was going to be able to out-wrestle Jorge Masvidal. Is that because Jorge Masvidal didn't prepare? Of course it's not. It's because Colby Covington had a lifetime of wrestling, and that's a skill that, built over years and years, not over an 8-week training camp. So I didn't see those comments, but I'll be honest, when it comes to, and again, I'm not just trying to disrespect Stephen A or whatever, I'm not trying to be mean, but I just don't listen to his takes, man. I'm just like, you don't know the sport, so why do I care what your take is on it? You know what I mean? And again, I'm not trying to talk trash when I say that, but it's just like, why do I care what he says? I mean, he has a big following, so I guess him talking about it brings attention to the sport, which is a good thing. But I don't know, if you're talking about it because you want to bring attention to it, cool. But if you're saying something like that, like Jorge didn't prepare, like, come on, man. Ron. Yeah, I apologize. He is the most knowledgeable in me. JH, appreciate it. Yeah, now 10,000 hours is a real thing. It's a real thing. Yeah. you know, to be honest with you, I didn't think Masvidal fought a bad fight. You know, I know he came in and said I was flat, didn't have it. Like, I don't know if that's true. I just think that's what Colby does, man. That's what Colby does. He's just relentless pressure, grinding wrestling, gonna make it hard for you. You know, I didn't think Jorge fought a bad fight. I mean, I had it 50-45. I had it 50-45 for Colby. But yeah, MP, that's what I try to think. It's just like, all right, let him be, you know, he's got a big show, he's got a big audience. Like, let him talk about it and bring attention to sport. That's a good thing. That get people talking about it. I always think, you know, helping the sport grow is good. But oh, Jeff Mullins walking back. Are we gonna get our last one?
Next to the scale, Cody Brundage. Official weight 185 and a half for Cody Brundage.
Yes, it.
That's the last one. As soon as face-offs are over, Nowitzki is going to come out and do a USADA jacket presentation for both Thiago Santos and for Glover Teixeira.
Oh, cool.
So we'll do that right out here so everyone can get that as well.
Awesome. All right. I'm going to, so that's a wrap. We got face-offs coming up. I don't know if they'll do them early or not. Hopefully, so we don't have to just sit here for 40 minutes. Although if we do sit here for 40 minutes, we'll sit here and chat. All right, I'm going to change lenses, I think, so I can shoot wider for the face-offs.
No, that's it.
Okay. I thought he decided to only share with you.
Oh, I shared it with him. Thiago.
Sorry,
It's all good. I know your favorite.
I was projecting behind you. I was trying to...
Does it look like face-offs earlier?
Yeah. We're going to start cranking it up. Or within the next.
Yeah. Awesome.
We got shit to do.
We got places to go, bro.
Right.
All right, I got nothing fancy here, so I think this will just cut.
Is that in your, Is that all you got? Liquids?
And I'm gonna move
What's
here.
that?
Am I in your way if I move here?
Yes. Very much so.
So what if I stand right
Well, I don't know where to
here?
go because he's here and
Is that all you
you're
got?
there.
Are you able to, is this longer?
Like slightly
You're
more
going to throw
to the
this one on?
No, I'm good.
You good enough with that one?
Yeah.
I have to shoot wide.
Can I sit on the floor?
I have nothing against that. As long as Heidi doesn't go for it. Yeah. We're on the floor.
Maybe right now.
I'll get this fixed. Give me a moment.
Heidi, are you alright? The angles are a little weird. Are you alright if our media member sits right here and gets your angle? Yeah. Morally, I object.
Morally, yeah. Right down.
I don't care about your morals.
That much is clear.
Fire.
There's just no way for me to do this smoothly, unfortunately, but we're getting back up.
If I sit in a chair, that doesn't maybe too tight. Be honest. I'm on the floor if I have to.
right, so sounds like face-offs are going to be a little bit early, so that's good. JH, I did not have Masvidal winning that second round. Storm Lake, Bryce is fun, man. I started being a fan of his when he fought for World Series of Fighting, and I mean you could see his skills, like obviously great grappling skills, but then Joey Varner asked him about his nickname, about Thug Nasty, and he's like, y'all ain't seen me in the streets. And I was just like, I love this guy. So, yeah, I mean, look, are some of his opinions out there? I think so. You know, I didn't hear. I know that a lot of people said the interview with Ariel Helwani was, like you said, some crazy stuff about like school shootings being set up, and okay, that's a bit out there for me. But you know, the guy has a right to say what he wants to say, to a degree. Obviously, you can take that to the edge, but like the things he said, the things that I've heard him say directly, like when he was talking about the Fed is an issue and blah blah. Like, I mean, you can say that, I guess. So I don't know. I don't get too into politics, but as far as his fighting skills, I think he's an incredible fighter, and he's got some big fights coming up.
What's up, John?
Thank you, sir.
Yes, this thing won't work with me.
Yeah, MP. I didn't hear the whole comments, but if that's what was said, that's a bit wild for me. Yeah, I don't even get it. Especially as a parent, man. That's like scary. To be honest with you, like, again, not like talking politics or anything, but just reality. Like, man, the first time my kid came home and told me that like they had been doing like active shooter drills in school, like, dude, my heart just broke a little bit. I'm like, what? But I mean, like, it's good, right, that the schools are preparing, like, so that people do have an idea of what to do. But like, how sad is that too, right? Like, oh man, my kid like even has to do this. Ugh. Wonder Boy is an incredibly nice guy. Rose is my favorite. Yeah, Rose is pretty awesome as well, man. That I'm the best stuff was pretty awesome. MP, you're right, man. You do. My wife wanted to. Like, she was like, "What do you think about homeschooling?" And to me, I don't like the idea of homeschooling because I feel like you miss a big social aspect of it, which I feel like that's a lot of school, is like teaching you how to deal with other people and how to deal in groups and how to deal with issues with people and stuff like that, which you miss out on. But man, when you're talking about, safety and security and yeah, jeez. Yeah, denial. Like I said, I'm just yeah, it was Karen Bryant though by JH. Yeah, denial. I never did it. I guess my age, we just didn't think about it. Now I guess it's a real deal. You gotta think about it, man. Lima definitely no slouch. That's good, Ron. That's good. Looking forward to making it back to Canada again. Hopefully, once we start traveling again, I'd like to make it to Vancouver again, man. I'm not going to lie. Vancouver, to me, is one of the most beautiful cities on earth, man. I love going out there. You know, not there's anything wrong with the Torontos and the Montreals, and all those are great, too. But Vancouver's always been, I think, my favorite Canadian city. Just beautiful. A drive-by slapping problem. Please tell me that's a real thing. Please tell me that's real. Ooh, Whistler. Yeah, that always looks good. I've never been there. That looks gorgeous. So we're told that, by the way, the face-offs will start early, so they're trying to get those together. I haven't heard them lining up yet, but it sounds like it should start early. And then afterwards, Jeff Nowitzki is going to come do a presentation with Thiago Santos and Glover Teixeira to give them, I think, their 50-time jacket, I'm guessing. Ooh, egging's not cool, though, man. That's not cool. JH, did you ever film the process you go through during fight week? I never thought about it, but I guess I could. It'd be way less exciting than you probably think. But I guess I probably need to figure out content like that. What can we do? Something a little unique, a little different. Not watching the Golden Snitch. Yeah, Storm like Dustin P. That's one of the good guys too. That's definitely one of the good guys.
Gina, are they waiting for the top of the hour? They're going to try to go early.
They said they're gonna go early.
They're going to go early?
Yeah, for sure, Jace. The Will Harris stuff's great. That's what I said. I told Will I'm gonna feature all of his content on the underground. I think it's really cool. What's up, man? What's up? How you doing, brother? Anthony Smith in the house. Gotta love old man Glover. Yeah, gotta like old man. What a great story, right? For him to win right at the end. Awesome. No denial. I've heard people say that, but if sorry, somebody's texting me. I was working on some appointments for this afternoon. No, if he was suspended, it would have been announced. Wow, shots fired. He doesn't have to make it public, but USADA would announce a suspension. If he was suspended, USADA would announce that. They send out like a press release and note it. I mean, that's part of their thing. It's like holding people accountable. That's part of why they want the program to work is that, I mean, honestly, the public shaming of it, to be honest with you. So, yeah. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
Alex Davis knows that I'm ticklish, so he always comes up and pokes me right in the ribs. Yeah, JH, I'm not going to be throwing that out there. That's funny. Did she call him that? Nah, man. Denial. If you're in the program when you test positive, if you withdraw, you were still positive while you're in the program, so it'd be announced.
After face-offs.
Huh?
After face-offs.
Oh, after face off.
After face-offs, yeah.
Right there. 'Cause after face off.
Still going at 11?
I don't know if they're waiting for Dana or Sean.
Those meninos. Os meus meninos. Hey, John. We have two jacket presentations after the face-offs.
with Thiago and Glover.
Yes, we're going to do it here different than the other times.
Awesome. Yeah. No, Denial. It really doesn't have anything to do. It doesn't have anything to do with faith in Dana. It's USADA. I mean, what do they gain from it? Yeah, Storm. That was awesome for Bryce to do that, dude. How can you hit on that guy? And not the Larange that coined it. That's funny. That dude's funny. Yeah, I talked to Triple C a couple days ago. Actually, it's on the YouTube channel if you want to check it out. It was a good conversation with him, man. He was a good dude. I like Triple C a lot. Like he knows that everybody hates his cringe, but he likes to have fun, pump it up a little bit. He's calling for the Kayla Cyborg fight. I want to see that fight too. Yeah, he's always so. Basically, I mean, if you like I said, if you want to watch the interview, it's on the YouTube channel. But he was just like, he's given the UFC a number, and the UFC knows what he wants to get paid in order to do it. He did say he's like, look, I'll come back and fight Holloway if they think I'm not ready to fight Volkanovski. If they think I can't walk right into a title shot, then I'll come back and fight Holloway. And then if I fight Holloway, then I want Volkanovski next. So. He's willing to do it, but I don't know what that number is. You know what I mean? Is the number 10 million? What is it? So I kind of think it's unlikely he ever fights again. But he seems pretty happy. He's got his kids, so he's loving doing that. He's coaching, he's loving doing that. So I don't think we'll see him come back, but it's always fun to catch up with him. JH. I'm thinking, are you talking about like the commission reps maybe? Because usually the fighters walked by security or local police, or the commission reps that follow with them. Probably talking about the commission reps. They the commission reps are assigned to the locker room, so they watch them in the locker room to make sure there's nothing done. Like obviously, nobody's greasing up, nobody's doing anything crazy with gloves or anything like that. And then they walk with them all the way to. Then so I think probably talking about the inspectors from the commission is what I'm guessing. Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. Yeah, I think Max will be a problem for him with that range. Cyborg kind of can. Oh, dude, I want to see. So I talked to Kayla Harrison yesterday too, and that's up on the channel as well. So she's just signed with PFL, or re-signed, I should say. But it sounds like behind the scenes, the PFL is going to try to make that fight with Cyborg happen somehow. Co-promotion, cross-promote. Maybe she becomes a free agent. I don't know, but it sounds like they're gonna try. They're gonna do everything within their power to try to make that fight happen. So we'll see what Bellator does. I mean, we know the UFC would never ever co-promote, of course, but for Bellator, does it maybe make sense to co-promote on a pay-per-view? I mean, if you can share in the revenue, if you can make it financially work, I don't know. So it's more difficult than people think to co-promote because obviously you got like TV contracts to worry about and who gets what talent, who blah blah. There's all those little contract details that have to be worked out. But man, if you're not the UFC, why not be open to co-promoting? Why not be open to doing something with other organizations, big super fights? I mean, to be honest, I really do feel like Kayla and Cyborg is the biggest women's fight you can make right now. I mean, not that there's not other big fights. I guess the rematch with Nunes and Pena is a big fight, because of the way the first one went. But Kayla and Cyborg, man, that's a huge fight. I hope we can find a way to pull it off. Mark Fellows, I knew you weren't elsewhere. We don't deal with them people over there. We roll with the UG. But good to see you, Mark Fellows. And yeah, Denial, like I said, maybe they'll try to sign her as a free agent. We'll see. But I know that they're going to try and do it. Yeah, Denial, exactly. Bellator and Rising, they did it. Why not? All right, I hear him now. They're lining everybody up, so it looks like we're getting close. Yeah, and I agree, Andrew. Dude, Kayla's a monster. Like, a monster. Yeah, no change in respect for me for Sergio, man. That dude's a badass. I mean, Horiguchi's a stud. Horiguchi's a stud. Yeah, Denial. That's exactly why I want to see the Cyber fight, because I want to see. I mean, she's a badass, but she needs that stiff competition. She knows it. There's check the interview I did with her yesterday too. That's up on the YouTube. Check the interview. Just see what you think. And then if you want, there's a story on si.com/MMA. So if you want to read it or it's on the underground as well. If you want to read it, but there's a video to check it out too. So all right, security's in place. I want to get in place. There's cold coffee trying to take up the shot. What's he doing? That's my longtime rival journalist.
You put that out in the universe. Now everybody thinks that's a thing. They're like, "Oh, you can't keep you in the same room." I was like, "What?" Now people think it's a thing.
Oh wow, that's cool, Andrew. That's awesome. All right.
UFC security the other day, last week, they were like should we keep you guys separated? I was like,
That's Joe. Joe's been
What?
doing all that. Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. Sean Shelby is here. We're going to stare these athletes down. UFC on ESPN Plus tomorrow night. It starts in the light heavyweight division. Azamat Murzakanov takes on Tafon Chukwi. Up next, we're in the bantamweight division. Guido Canetti takes on Chris Mutino. Middleweights are up next. Cody Brundage squares off against Dalsha Lungiambula. Up next, we're in the women's flyweight division. Miranda Maverick takes on Sabina Mazo. Featherweight matchup is next. Kamawela Kirk takes on Damon Jackson. At bantamweight, Javid Basharat takes on Trevin Jones. Up next, another women's flyweight matchup. Jillian Robertson takes on JJ Aldrich. And our featured prelim on ESPN Plus is at welterweight. A.J. Fletcher takes on Matthew Semmelsberger. Main card starts at 4 o'clock local time, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN Plus. It begins in the middleweight division. Bruno Silva takes on Alex Pereira. Up next, we're at lightweight. Terrence McKinney takes on Drew Dober. A light heavyweight matchup is next. Carl Robertson squares off against Khalil Roundtree. A featherweight matchup is next. Alex Caceres takes on Sadiq Youssef. Co-main event comes in the bantamweight division. Song Yadong takes on Marlon Moraes. And our main event, 5 rounds or less in the light heavyweight division, Magomed Ankalaev takes on Thiago Santos. Magomed Ankalaev, Thiago Marreta Santos. 5 rounds in our main event. We'll see you tomorrow on ESPN+. And stick around. We have an announcement. Jeff, take it away.
Thiago, come on out first. Thiago. So we have a couple of 50-time perfect test history jacket presentations today. The first one, our main event fighter for tomorrow, Thiago Santos. As you're probably aware, we like to give these out surrounding a fight or a competition, especially when it's a main event, because Thiago is the focus of the UFC MMA world. And this program becomes part of these fighters' story. And Thiago's story is that he's been in this program for the last 7 years, the existence of the program. He's fought at the top 10, top 5, championship level throughout that program. He had a very devastating knee injury, and he's now worked his way all the way back to be that main event fighter. And he's done it clean, as witnessed by 51 perfect tests. So Thiago, congratulations, my man. Here's your 50-time jacket, and appreciate all your hard work, dedication, and being a clean athlete. All right, our next one. Look, Donna and I in this role have to remain neutral in this role. It doesn't matter if you're a champion or if it's your first fight in the UFC. You got to treat everybody equally. But I will be the first to admit, of all the presentations that I've done, this one's my favorite. This man won the World Light Heavyweight Championship at 42 years old, 42. And I think we were in Anaheim riding the bikes next to each other, and Glover said, "Hey, where's my jacket?" And I said, "Be patient, it's coming." He goes, "I want that jacket because I want to get up there and I want to tell people that age is just a number, that It doesn't matter where you are in life, if you keep working hard enough, you can achieve your goals doing it the right way. And that's what this is a symbol of. This is hard work, dedication, and perseverance, and that's all. So our light heavyweight champion of the world at 42 years old and clean athlete, 52 perfect test history, Glover Teixeira.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, meet you, man. One more. Oh, nice, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Looking good, guys. Take a quick picture of
Yeah, hold on. Oh, no, this is good. This is good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. That's a wrap. Appreciate you guys showing up. Yeah. Small little group to start, but we'll keep growing this thing. Appreciate everybody that stayed in and full coverage the rest of this weekend. Subscribe if you hadn't already. Thanks for watching. I won't see you next week, but CFFC is next week, so I'll see you on UFC Fight Pass. How about that? Appreciate everybody that joined. Means the world. And now I got to figure out where to stop the stream because I closed that window. One-man band, screwing things up. Peace out, guys. Talk to you soon.